Hello. Grown conversation about when Lindsey Graham tells Donald Trump to go punch a cop and break some windows. No, that happened, y'all. Y'all can go look that up. I think Ring of Fire has it, and there are a few others that do too. Senator Lindsey Graham, senior senator for the state of South Carolina. Basically, today, and this is why this video is coming up so early in the morning, so that, as I said to you about April Fool's weekend, well, certain Republicans have decided to extend the weekend. They're going to take a 30-day weekend on April Fool's, apparently. They don't sit up and talk about after this man has cried, literally cried. Now, I don't have a problem with men showing their human emotions. Let me just say that entirely. It's only 2 years ago that Lindsey Graham was, but for a black man saving his life by the name of Eugene Goodman uh, in the Senate, that he himself could have been very seriously hurt or killed in the Senate. That was a lot for him on behalf of someone that he had backed up. And that was a lot for him after realizing if we back this man up, we're probably going to be destroyed. He's famously said, if we back him at the Republican Party, we'll be destroyed and if we will deserve it. Well, now he's down at this end, basically flipping out from day to day. But it's the nature of the flip out. Lindsey Graham is one of those tantrum having people that I was telling y'all about at this point. Now, to understand the magnitude of what this man has done and the level of the betrayal of his own office and of his duty to this country, you need to understand that Senator Graham is Colonel Graham, retired, of the Judge Advocate General Service. He's a JAG. So not only do you have an officer commissioned to defend this country and its constitution, from which all laws flow. We sit around, the originalists praise the Constitution from whom all blessings and all laws flow. He's a lawman from the military. So this 67-year-old veteran senator is out here telling a man who will be 77 in June to not comply with a lawful indictment. Because, people of that ilk are very quick to say, when black men are roughed up by police, that he just should have complied. They're very quick to say if he just complied, they wouldn't have been killed. Very, very quick to say this. That ilk tends to do that. If black people would just know their place, they wouldn't get hurt. That's been said since 1865. By the way, Lindsey Graham seems to have overlooked that Donald Trump knows he can't do that because he came out and said about 4.5 years ago how much he wants cops not to be too gentle, be a little rough with them. So he knows that if he starts a brawl at 76 years old, they remember this too. See, it's real easy when you up here talking having tantrums like you see. I told y'all in the last video about Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS nations who are attempting to replace the United States as the reserve currency of the world. Because they know the only way to rein in this crazy country we got is to kick it in the dollar. Do you understand why? You have a 76-year-old United States veteran, commissioned officer, long stand. This man used to sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee just 4 years ago. And he has advised a former president, a man endowed with all of the dignity of that office. I didn't say I agree with what President Trump did with it, but he was endowed with all the dignity of that office. Spring is here, and so are the allergies. My apologies. Endowed with all the dignity of that office to punch a cop and break a few windows while being arrested. And, but these Republican old men like to brawl. Y'all remember that video I did about the House of Representatives? But then we also need to consider with this that this man who was in Judge Advocate General Service went on and said this as if he doesn't know how this is actually going to go down. Ain't nowhere in the world that the Secret Service and the state of New York and the New York Police Department, there's no way that's ever going to happen. So we have to say, well, he was speaking figuratively. Well, then who was he speaking to? Who is he now trying to actually incite? Remember that I said that Lindsey Graham was at the Capitol when the events of January 6th happened? And remember how it's been said for a long time that there are Republicans who are complicit? Well, guess what? Guess who may have given us a hint that he was complicit in trying to steal the proper election from this country? Because if Lindsey Graham, a colonel, a judge advocate general, is not sitting up here telling Donald Trump to physically do what the Secret Service will never have happen, then who's he talking to and what's he trying to get done? Do you understand why Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, and a few others are like, no, we're going to have to rein this puppy in? Do you understand the deadly danger that the country you live in is in if you're in the United States? Now, do you understand why I'm sitting up here telling you that wisdom excels folly as light excels darkness? Now, do you understand why I'm telling you that you need to really attend to that and stop all this silliness online? Tomorrow, you are still, most of my listeners are still going to be Black. Most of you are going to be Black women, the most visible, vocal, and vulnerable Democrats in the country. This is going up at 9 o'clock New York time. In fact, I'm gonna put it up at 5:30 my time, 8:30, to try to actually, you know what? It's 11:30 my time here. I might just go ahead and put this up so y'all get some lead time on this. So when you wake up in the morning and you turn on your phone, I'm there to let you know. But then again, you know what? I may not, because I've been saying the same thing since the beginning of the year. If you do not understand that you need to withdraw your foot from foolishness now, so whatever time you see this, be careful today. I think 5:30 is about the right time, Eastern time for this. Be careful today, whatever it is you're doing. If you're in New York, extra careful. Given that Colonel Graham cannot be talking seriously about having some almost 77-year-old man fighting police, understand there may be a few other people out there that want to break some things today. Please be careful. And by the way, this warning does not go off. I may not say it again because if you don't know by now, I can't help you. This warning does not go off. We are at a very, very dangerous moment. Old men in wickedness. Look, y'all, even Mitch McConnell is staying quiet. The Grim Reaper has gone somewhere and sat down. Although I think I probably know how that happened. I think a former senatorial colleague has probably given him a call and basically said, look, Mitch, we used to work together. We actually agree on a lot of the same things. I'm just as much segregation as you are at heart, given Joe Biden's record, that President Biden's record, that's correct. But you're not going to embarrass me. I'm the president now. So go sit down somewhere. You notice Mitch McConnell has calmed down. Falling over and getting hurt hasn't hurt either. But even he's not getting into this. If Mitch McConnell's staying out of it, then I ought to tell you the foolishness has just gotten to be a little bit too much even for him. He got close enough with that concussion to see that he gonna see Jesus real soon and give an account. He needs to get his life together, but so does everybody. So do I. So do you. I keep saying it. Stephanie Perry, Adelia Borshade, Rashida Dow. As a Black woman, you need to have options. You need to get your passport too. And those of you who are Black men, I don't agree with y'all just going abroad to try to fornicate on the cheap. But you being able to do that is up to you. But also being able to see the rest of the world is useful for everybody. Because it's good to have backup plan. You need to get some different kind of content. You need to get out of all this online arguing and really figure out how you're gonna make it in a globalized society where the dollar is not the only thing smoking. And maybe even not in 10, 20 years, the main thing smoking. You might want to find out what kind of content Chinese people like, Latin America. On Hive, I hear people fussing about the influx from Latin America. Brazil's in Latin America. If that becomes a very important, that's the first of the BRICS nations. If they're able to move some things happen, Latin America's gonna come up. Everybody sitting here complaining about illegal immigrants. What's the United States gonna do when they don't need to be bothered to come here anymore? What then? Really, it's time to skill up. It's time to steady up. And it's time to put the foolishness down. Certain old men have decided to extend April Fool's Day through the month. You cannot afford to do that. And as Lindsey Graham, because of the way he messed in the situation in Georgia, may find out, he may not be able to afford it either. Veteran senator, veteran, a colonel, and Jag, all of it. He may have already cashed it in. Maybe this foolishness has nothing to do with him wanting Donald Trump to go down fighting for himself, but he also realizes there's not going to be anybody left to protect him. And if Mitch McConnell is backing off, Joe Biden's being real quiet. They all know each other from way, way back. Lindsey Graham thought he had friends. He was criticizing Joe Biden yesterday, talking about how Joe Biden is moving the Democrat Party. I'm like, Senator Graham, that's not your business. Don't you want him to ruin the party? But here's the deal. Why is he mad at Joe Biden all of a sudden? Because, like I said, they thought they were. You thought you had friends, Lindsey. Bitches being quiet, and Joe Biden said nothing. So when Donald Trump goes down, guess who's next? I understand. If my theory is correct, I can understand Senator Graham's pain. You never know the friends you have till the chips really go down. It's a terrible situation to be in. He earned every bit of it up to these last inadvisable statements. What I'm telling you to do is be careful out there, and please understand the time for playing around online is over. Take these things that you have, build skill, and if you have not gotten your life together, may I suggest you start. All right, y'all. Be careful, but have a good day today. Goodbye.